Hello and welcome to the SportsGrad podcast. My name is Ruben Williams, and with me, as always, is the resigned Ryan Walker. How are you, my friend?
I am flying, Rubes, and I love that word resigned. I'm not sure if it is, a word to describe someone, but it's true. It's currently Friday afternoon. Uh, I'm sitting at my desk and I no longer work at Cricket Australia, which is absolutely incredible, really. But no, I'm happy, excited, all the above. So, how are you going?
I'm well, mate. I'm well, mate. But today is all about you. You're about. It's currently 6:12 p.m. You're about 7 minutes off a 2-hour Zoom call to farewell you. I asked if it was a joint Zoom call, joint farewell, and you're like, nah, it was just about me.
Mm.
2 hours to farewell someone over Zoom is a long time. So you've clearly created quite an impact over 4 years at Cricket Australia.
I won't tell you the attendance rate, but no, joking. Um, no, that was good fun. Lots of stories, as all farewells are. A lot of fun.
Mm,
But yeah, it honestly it made me think back of 2017 to now.
mm,
What on earth has happened? So it's gone quickly.
mm.
But
Yeah,
no, it's been fun. A good farewell is always fun. So yeah.
brilliant. Well, this is as fresh as it gets talking to someone after they've just resigned from a job. So
Mm.
I'm keen to grab your thoughts in just a second. But before we do that, we better thank our good friends, Deakin University, where every single course is backed by industry experts so that you can be confident that you will get the job you want with the degree employers want. Deakin University, they are progressive, real world learning. Uh, our other great friends of the show are Sports Where I Am. Now, Ryan, there's some incredible events coming up in Australia with
Mm.
the Ashes. I believe there's a bit of golf in Brisbane. If you want to get along to that, head to sportswhereiam.com and find all the great sporting events that they've got to offer on there. And use the code SportsGrad to grab 5% off your tickets too. So we know, I reckon you and I'll be at a bit of cricket this summer coming up. So
Yeah.
there's plenty to look forward to for those looking for an event to attend.
I was thinking because obviously we're keen to go to Adelaide this year, as we've spoken about. Day
Mm,
night test,
yep,
it's awesome.
yep.
So I've already said to you we need to go to Sports Rome to get those tickets pretty quick because they will go, and we can get that discount even though it's kind of like our discount, but we can still use it. So happy days.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Definitely. I haven't told you about Brisbane yet either, but we'll bring that up later.
we'll take that offline.
Yep.
That's good.
If you guys want to learn more about us, who we are, if you've got any questions about what we do or want to ask us anything at all, feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn. You can find a link to do so in the show notes. Now, Ryan, today is all about you. Traditionally, we give our guests a bit of an intro so people know exactly who they are. People know a bit about you to begin with, but I'm gonna take people back. I'm gonna give people a bit of a refresher just to let them know how you've got to this point where you are resigning after 4 years at Cricket Australia. So we're going to go way back. So you completed a Bachelor of Sport Management at the University of Notre Dame in Perth. Then you went on to do a grad cert in marketing at RMIT once you got to Melbourne. Your first kind of look into the sports industry was at your beloved Scarborough Sharks Cricket Club, where you spent 2 years as a 21-year-old volunteering as the vice president of the cricket club, which is no mean feat. And then you had these other experiences at Revo Sport, Dollar Shave Club, and Social Sport, which gave you enough experience to talk about in your interview at Cricket Australia, which gave you a foot in the door in October 2017. And it was on that first day when you got to Cricket Australia that we met. We were standing next to each other at the MCG nets, going through our induction process together. And I'm not sure about your take on this, but I remember looking up and down at you and I was like, this guy looks pretty similar to me. He's wearing the same brown boots. He's got the same navy chinos. He's wearing the same white shirt. He's also got a Garmin watch on that happens to be the same model. Turns out he's got the same initials as me too. And I thought, you know what, this guy's a pretty good guy to get along with. And then over the next 4 years, I'm not sure how many people have had more titles in this this period of time, but you had 4 titles in 4 years, and, within that, you made the jump from community cricket to commercial in September 2019, which was meant to be just a 6-month secondment to start with, and then coronavirus happened, a few things got shuffled on the board, and all of a sudden, Ryan's gone back into community cricket and then been whisked out of community cricket back into the commercial team, where you've ended up a partnerships specialist looking after some of the biggest brands in Australia, including the Test naming rights partner Dettol, Alinta Energy, Wheat-Bix, and many, many others. I need to take a breath, but
Yeah, it's quite the intro. Um, yeah, no, it's I listened to that. I'm like, well, a bit's happened in 4 years, hasn't it?
yep.
Um, no, yeah, and you're dead right with MCG. We did stand there together, and I looked at you, and I was like, "Yep, he seems to be, on a similar page, kit wise. He's brand new as well, so I guess I can gravitate towards him." But no, it's been a crazy 4 years, and yeah, 4 different titles. I don't even think I can recall them all now.
Mm,
Club and comp coordinator, uh, partnerships coordinator, account executive, partnerships specialist.
I reckon you've left one out in your
Yeah, I
LinkedIn.
reckon I have as well. Oh no, club and
Maybe you've had
coordinator was the
officer.
first. Officer was the first one.
Mm,
So maybe
mm.
it was
So you've had
5.
5. You've had 5 titles in 4 years.
I don't know if I don't know if that's a positive or a negative, but I'll take the positive if you're leaning that way. But yeah, no, unreal journey, Rubes.
Mm,
And it's just a surreal feeling, but
mm,
nothing but positive memories. And I genuinely think I've just learnt so much from the opportunity to be at
mm,
Cricket Australia.
mm.
That it's looking back on it now, it's just incredible. So yeah.
Well, Ryan, why don't you answer the question that's on everyone's mind, or has been on everyone's mind? Where are you going next?
the
What's next for Ryan Walker?
the fans are just clamoring at the door to just where's he going? Where's he going?
What's he doing?
Yeah, Jesus. Nah, well, where I'm going next is a place that I'm fairly familiar with, um, and that is SportsGrad HQ, which is incredible in itself. Luckily, along the way, a good friend of mine, Ruben Williams, came by, and you know we started doing a podcast, and essentially, it has just grown beyond belief to the point now where we can both spend our days and nights doing it full time, which is amazing to think where we have come to now where we are today. So yeah, it's a big call, it's a big decision, it's a gutsy one. I've been told, but I'm genuinely so excited for what is coming up next and what we've been able to achieve so far, and to be able to make that my day job to help people. Essentially, my day job's to get people jobs in sport and to help them do that, and to connect with people to help them is a really nice way to spend my time. So no, genuinely very excited to partner with you and do that, like we've been doing over the last year or so, but to make that full time, to make that my living is genuinely very exciting for me.
Brilliant, mate. Well, I couldn't be more excited. There's a part of me that's also like, a little bit daunted. Oh, I've dragged Ryan into this. He's left his dream job to come join me at SportsGrad, but I cannot tell you how excited I am to have you in it full time as well. You've got a role that needs filling at the moment. Your old job. Um, I believe you've been chatting to a couple of our members this week about filling
Mm.
that job. Um, how, like when you talk to people about how to go about getting a certain job, like what do you leave those conversations feeling like?
Genuinely, I spoke to a couple of people today, um, and I can just you just kind of feel that passion that they have, but it also reminds me of when I first got that job, and just the eagerness to get in and learn. And
Mm,
I think both the people I spoke to today are just genuinely keen to get stuck in, and they've put in the work, where it being volunteering, internships, casual jobs, whatever it might be. They've been able to put together, um, a portfolio of work where they can go and speak about it. And I think, that's the key. All people want to get into sport, but they need to have something to talk about, and feel passionate about as well. So, both times I walk away from speaking to them, it's just like they've got this passion and drive to do the job. And it's all up to them in terms of how they can chat about it. So, and that's all it is. You just got to chat about your experience and why you want to do what you're doing. And if you can ace those things, then you give yourself the best chance. So, no, but the thing that I walk away with is the passion part, which is probably the most important part.
mm. And for you, who's enjoyed an awesome career at Cricket Australia, knowing that your information could potentially help one of these people start their own journey at Cricket Australia and knowing what they're in for, how does that make you feel in terms of, what they could potentially enjoy?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's great talking about all the things that you will be able to do, because in the roles that I've had, it's they've been the perfect positions to learn and spread your wings and understand each part of the business. So, I said to them, what are the cool parts and what are the challenging parts, and I'm happy to explain those parts because they're both equally rewarding. So,
Mm,
no, but it's a good feeling, being able to share that information and share what they're going to get out of it is really great to do. So I
mm.
enjoy talking about partnerships with people, especially when they want to work in it. So,
Mm,
yeah, no, it's great.
brilliant. Well, I believe that position's open for a couple of weeks, so we might have to throw an impromptu webinar for those members who just want to hear about how were you successful to get your job in the first place and what do they need to be successful
Yeah,
um, to do it now. So anyway, we might take that offline as well.
we'll take that
But
offline.
uh, yeah, so Ryan, what I think people would love to know is how did you get to this point? What was the journey for you coming from you know just doing a podcast to then quitting your job?
How long do we have? No,
It's our
look,
podcast. We can go as long as we
yeah,
want.
it is our podcast. We can do whatever we want with it. No, I guess a lot. But yeah, it was sort of, when was it? Mid 2020. Um, and I guess we'd become mates a few years before that, so we were pretty familiar with who we are and what we've been up to. And I believe
Yeah.
it was the Uni Blues podcast which probably sparked, your thought process that maybe I would be a good candidate to do a podcast with you. So thanks to that, I guess. But nah, I guess we just started the podcast from very humble beginnings in a lounge room in Torquay, um, which, I mean, I think,
I think it was I reckon it was like the fourth. I was gonna say the 4th or 5th of May, but that was your birthday, so I think it was a bit after
yeah,
that. I reckon it was like middle of May. I called you up,
yeah,
and
100%.
where did you take that phone call?
I remember I was cleaning my room, because, I mean, what else do you do when you're locked down and you can't leave your house? And
Mm.
I received a call from you, and I was just like, what's Ruse up to? Maybe he wants to get a coffee or have a walk or something. And little we known, it was to start a podcast together. Uh, and what do you say when someone asks you if you want to do a podcast and you've got, all this time off your sleeve? So of course I said yes. Um,
Do you remember what you said?
I think I was like, yeah, maybe.
That's the same words and tone that I was going to
Yeah.
deliver to you. So yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's where it started. And then, um, once we started with the podcast, it just kind of, I mean, a lot of work went into the podcast, but it probably takes a little bit of time to explain that. But, we needed to figure out what the hell are we going to do with this, and who are we going to speak to, and what are we
Mm,
trying? What's the message we're actually trying to give to people?
mm,
So the purpose of it was probably the most work to figure out how we're going to actually do this thing. But
mm.
once it started, it's just kind of grown from there, and I think we've kind of just figured it out for ourselves on the way. And speaking to some awesome people who also can share their experiences, and that helps us shape what we're doing on here as well. So
Mm,
um, from there, so much work has happened outside of the podcast to get to where we are right now. Like,
mm,
think about 2020, it was simply just a podcast in May, to now we've got a community of people, over 150 people who are on our membership, that all have a common goal, work in sport currently, looking for a switch in careers, whatever that might be. We've got a course, we've got a networker, we do webinars fortnightly. It's just it's a jam packed business now that is just going from strength to strength. So for me, I've continued to work at CA while that's all happened, and um, tried to contribute as much as I can outside of work hours. We are on a call 3 to 4 nights a week at times, and it's incredible. So the beast has just grown,
mm,
and it's got to the point now where I just love the fact that we're having um, some really profound impact on people's lives, in the fact that we can help them follow the same steps that we followed, and feel the same things that we felt when you get that phone call to say you're successful, or you get an email just to say you get an interview, and to step into a sporting organization. For us it's CA, but for anybody it's anything. It's any organization that is in sport, because they're following what they're passionate about and what they love. And I guess we've just fallen in love with that feeling. So it makes our lives really, really amazing that we can just help people feel that same feeling that we had. So um the reason why I've quit my job, I love my job. Like, I absolutely love partnerships, and I love Cricket Australia, and I love everything. But um, the opportunity to make this my full time job, and to spend my hours in my day to improve the beast that is SportsGrad, that it's become, and continue to help people follow their dreams and work in sport, is something that you can't say no to. So, and also the other thing is I get to spend a bit more time with you, which is always fun, outside of just the podcast. So no, that is why, and that's why we're starting this new chapter, which is unreal.
I think it was middle of 2019. You came to me and said, "Ruben, I'm not too sure about community cricket. I kind of like the idea of commercial partnerships. There's a role going at Netball Australia. I'm thinking of applying to that." I said to you, "Hang tight. I think there's a secondment opportunity coming up in the commercial team." You kind of expressed your ambition to work in that space. That was enough to land you the job. You then ended up in there full time, and have been loving life. As you said, you absolutely loved your job. When was the point when it started to turn towards, actually, sports grad's now the main thing I want to be doing?
I think first, the first few months and whatnot when we were doing this, it was kind of like, yeah, it's fun, and we're not really sure where it's going, but we'll just keep doing it anyway. Um, I mean, it kind of continued like that for a bit, but also, it was kind of when I started to see that, without us really knowing, or without us really doing anything completely outside the box that we knew of, that it was starting to sort of have a bit of an impact, and people started to really follow what we're doing, and people started getting jobs in the industry. That was kind of when I kind of stopped. I was like, hey, this is kind of really cool. And we're kind of building this thing, which is a really good feeling. Um, I feel like anybody who works in any job in any industry wants to like build something or make something better. And that is that, I mean, those two things there, that it kind of, I kind of realize that inside that we're doing that thing and we're building it and we're making people's, you know, I'm trying to not say their lives better, but like their chances at
Well,
reaching a
it's
goal.
true.
Yeah, their
It's
chances of
true
reaching
though.
a
Like,
goal is increasing because of what we're sort of doing. And I
mm,
don't want to say with like sounding arrogant or boasting, but um, in the nicest way possible. That was kind of what was happening. So then, then we sort of launched the membership, and we started doing webinars, and we started doing all these other things. Um, and we could just see that spike growing and growing and growing. And that feeling inside me that like we're building something here just grew and grew and grew. And that's what kind of turned the dial a little bit, because it got to a point where I'm like, hey, imagine if like I could do this day to day and see that spike continue to grow. So
mm.
I think it was just that growth and seeing the difference that was being made off the back of what we're doing, that that really switched it for me. So yeah, a long answer to a short question.
No, no, a brilliant answer at that as well. Um, I'm not sure if you got asked this much by other people, but like, how did you go juggling doing sports grad on top of Cricket Australia? Because people always say to me, "Gosh, you guys put out so much content. Like we're doing 2 podcasts a week on top of the membership and the products and the other stuff." Like, how did you find juggling both? What were the challenges involved with that?
It was tough. It was tough. It's like I think the toughest thing was probably knowing that the work that was happening whilst I was working, then like not being able to do the same amount or not be able to contribute as much as I could, because at the end of the day, like I was happy doing my job and I really loved it, but I knew that there was so much more happening behind the scenes. But I get like it's tough. Like you're juggling two things. You work your 9 to 5, and you know you've got to jump on and do a bit more. You got to do a podcast. We meet on a Monday night, we record on a Tuesday night. We'll probably do something on a Wednesday night. Thursday, Friday, maybe not as much, but you kind of get to the point in the week where you're just like, shit, you kind of feel like you've been in front of your laptop for the week. You wake up and you sleep, and especially because in lockdown, you're kind of in your house and you're at your desk, and it's pretty tough to do. Um, so yeah, like, and I remember like we've had plenty of discussions where I'm just like, far out, this is tough. Like, it's
Mhm.
tough just to log on at night, and sometimes you just want to chill and watch TV, but you just have to like grind through it. Um, there'll be time where you can relax. But yeah, like it was tough, and it was kind of the toughest bit was probably when we're meeting with all these organizations and we're meeting with people, and they don't want to meet at 8 p.m. at night. So that they want to catch up during the day, and it's like, well, how am I supposed to juggle that? And that's probably why we're here today, is the fact that sometimes something has to go for you to achieve what you want to achieve. So I think
Mm,
you've got to put some things first, and for the most part, I've had to put CA first, because that's the position I'm in, and thankful for that. But there'll be a lot more of those meetings coming up where there comes a point where you've got to make that time. So it's
mm.
good now. I said to you the other day, it's a weird concept having a blank calendar.
Yep.
Like, because right now my calendar is just sort of, it's ongoing. There are recurring meetings each week. I know which day is going to have what in it. So yeah, that's going to be a fun exercise building that. I'm sure with you, there'll be a lot of
Would you like some more recurring meetings?
yeah,
Is that what you're asking
yeah.
for?
Give me structure.
Yeah.
Although
Sure.
we can move that whip now.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
can be in the day, which is huge.
Yeah, we don't have to catch up at what, 6 p.m. on a Monday every week
Yeah,
now.
it's exciting. So,
And our Saturday sessions can change too.
hey, we can do them any day of the week if you want. Most
Yeah.
days if you want.
Yeah, preferably not at 12 p.m. on a Saturday
Yeah,
anymore.
right when race one's usually starting at Flemington. Nah, joking. But no, you're right. It's a cool exercise that we're going to go through. So yeah,
Mm. Well, mate, that is super exciting. How did it feel? What, less than an hour ago, shutting your laptop for the final time on Cricket Australia?
very weird, very weird. Um, I genuinely, and I've said this to you already. I don't think it's going to actually click until Monday when I won't be able to log in. Um, yeah, no, really weird. But I think a sense of just like gratitude, but also like pretty proud of what I've been able to do, which is a good feeling to like walk away from something knowing that like you've given a fair chunk of your effort and your time, and hopefully no what's the statement? No stone unturned.
Mm,
Um, I need your help with those statements. Sometimes I forget them, but
yeah, you got that one.
yeah, thank God. I was going to say something about a leaf, but I think
I
stone
think.
works. Um, but no, yeah, just proud. I think, um, and it's just a highly weird feeling. I'm just gonna have to open my Mac now. I won't be able to open my
Yeah.
Surface. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And what about saying goodbye to your team? Because you're fairly close with them.
yeah. Again, I'll say that I spoke to you during the week. I feel like I've said that a few times now, but we've kept a pretty open commentary this week, knowing that it's the last
Mm.
week. But no, I said to you yesterday, I feel like weirdly emotional, and I almost said I think I said I was a bit panicky and like anxious, but I think it's been a lot better today for some reason. But I think it was just hard because you know people always say that you like the people you work with, you probably know the best because you speak to them every single day. And for me, being in Melbourne, I don't I don't have a family I can quickly go and see or anything like that. Obviously, I can call them and do all that, but the work team that I'm in is kind of like my second little family here because I don't really have that family connection here. So it was tough. It was really tough. I didn't shed a tear or anything, but just like hearing their kind words was just it was awesome. And I don't think it'll be the end of my relationship with any of them. I think I'll definitely remain mates with them because they are all awesome and they've all contributed to my growth and development over the years. So yeah, it was tough to say that I won't be speaking to them every day, but yeah, it was really nice though.
Well, I say this not thinking I'm right, but knowing I'm right when I say that you are the most popular person at Cricket
Oh
Australia.
come on,
Hence,
get off it.
hence they had a 60-minute farewell for you yesterday and another 2-hour farewell for you today. I don't think anyone else in the history of Cricket Australia has
Nah,
had a 3-hour farewell. I remember being at James Sutherland's farewell after he'd spent 17 years there as CEO, and that only went for an hour and a half, and you got 3 hours. So,
nah.
so
There's a bit of
you
mayo
are.
there, but nah, nah. I'm definitely not. No, that's just not true. There's a few names that come to mind that would beat me, but
Well,
yeah.
you are well loved. Hence, well, I'm sure it got a bit emotional. But uh, looking forward now, if you could describe how you feel about jumping to SportsGrad using one word, what would it be?
Um, that's a great question. I think it's a pretty generic word, but just excitement. Um, it's an unreal feeling knowing that I can focus on sort of one thing. Like I kind of feel like the last year I've been like my head is in a lot of places, and it's kind of like now I can focus on this one big beast, big project, big business. That is just really exciting. So, and just knowing what is coming down the pipeline, um, project wise, just the whole SportsGrad business is going to continue to get better and change, and it's incredibly exciting. So to be able to have that impact with people and help them on their journey is going to be absolutely elite. I'll use that word. It's going to be great. So yeah, excitement, mate. It's going to be unreal. So I'm looking forward to just sharing the success and the news that's coming up and everything with all the people out there who've supported us and watched us grow, and the messages we get just to to say that they're watching on and they're supporting us, and if we need anything, let us know. They're all out there, so it's genuinely very exciting.
Absolutely. Well, the feeling is mutual. I'm incredibly excited to continue to share what we've built together in more closer quarters now. So I can't wait either. And yeah, I'll see you on Monday, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's a genuinely weird thing to say. Don't you reckon? It's like I'll text you on Monday about how you going, mate. How's your weekend? Now it's like, all right, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly
yeah,
right. Exactly right.
it's a weird one.
Well, congratulations again. Huge 4 years, heaps of impact. A lot of people you are leaving behind who are very sad to see you go. But a lot of people who are incredibly uh, excited for what you're jumping into, and um, none more than me. So it's yeah, it's an exciting. We keep saying exciting. It's an
Yeah, it's the
incredibly
word of the
exciting
day.
times. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I can't wait. I can't wait. I think we should. That's probably a great place to wrap it up. Any final thoughts?
No, I think. Oh, final thoughts is probably just to you, mate. I don't want to get too all fluffy on the podcast. I mean, it's one of our big rules on the podcast, not to get too fluffy.
No fluff.
But
Yeah, rule number one at SportsGrad.
yeah, but no, we wouldn't. We genuinely would not be in the position we're in if you had not committed the time and the effort and everything that you've done to contribute to get it to this point. I simply wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. So um, everything from moving to lawn to just spending the amount of times I've received an email from you at midnight. um, whatever it is you're doing, the effort has all it's paying off. So thank you to you, my friend, because it's been unreal so far, and I'm pumped just to continue this journey, and this thing is just going to hopefully take off with everyone's support and all our long hours that are coming up. So no, thank you to you.
Mm. Thank you. That was very kind. Well, I tried doing it by myself for a while, and it was boring. And then I pulled you into it, and this immediately we became the number one cruise podcast in Australia. So if I'd known that, I would have brought you in a lot earlier. But no, I'm incredibly excited to continue to share it with you.
Alrighty, mate. We'll wrap it there, eh?
Mm,
It's
I think
been
so.
fun.
Very much so. If anyone else has got any other questions for Ryan and why he's leaving his dream job, uh, or wants to know more about the podcast or anything else that we do, we're on LinkedIn. There's a link in the show notes where you can find us there. Otherwise, check out the SportsGrad website for more information about how to get involved with us, and continue to listen to the podcast. We'll chat to you next week, I'm sure. Thank you. Goodbye.